what's up? It's Jan back at it again with another nerdy bookish video. This is gonna be my July wrap-up. Let's see, what do I say at the beginning of these? I've been doing my wrap-ups in the form of the reread, rewrite, burn tag for over a year and a half now. I love it. This is the way we're doing it. Oh, I need my bullet journal. Ugh. Sorry for the sunspots. I am just using natural lighting, the natural lighting that I have left, which is partly why I have to kind of rush through this. I feel like all my sit-down videos are rushed because I just like squeeze them in when I have time, and I'm trying to go on a run before it gets dark out because it's so nice out. In the 70s and it is feeling like fall, y'all. But anyway, so I read 15 books in July and I have all the titles on little slips of paper in this mug, my handy dandy Stitch mug that appears in every single wrap-up video. And then I pick 3 at a time, and it's really nice because I could do 5 rounds of this, and then I just talk about my thoughts and give my rating and everything. Basically fuck, marry, kill, but make it bookish. So that's the gist of it. I always start wrap-ups with a little monthly recap. Like I said, I read 15 books. Oh, great. You guys could probably hear those cicadas, can't you? Okay, now it stopped. All right, sorry for those on and off nature sounds. Number of pages read, I did not calculate. Some months I do, some months I don't. This month is a don't. I'm not gonna talk about Chicago appearances anymore, but this time I only had 1. This is the last time I'm talking about them. That has retired. Number of BIPOC authors, only 2 out of 15, which is embarrassing. So FML, I'll do better. Best book of the month. Oh, I forgot to grab the books. This was my best book of July, The Children on the Hill by Jennifer McMahon. I already know she's gonna be my girl. I am gonna be reading the 3 or 4 other books that I own by her. This was 5 stars, obviously. It's a thriller inspired by Frankenstein. It actually has a lot of feminist elements that I wasn't really expecting. The twist, that first twist, insanity. I was screaming. It gives Orphan, if you've seen the movie Orphan, meets Get Out vibes. Get Out is my favorite horror movie, so this was just everything to me. I can't with this lighting. Let me move, y'all. That's not gonna help. Sorry, it's gonna happen. So this is about Iris, who is this child who gets adopted, taken in by these siblings' grandparents, and the grandparents asked the girl who has been there before Iris to look after Iris and like observe her and monitor her and keep track of her basically, and like write things down and report back to the grandma. Then you find out why. It is just so messed up. It is great, and I love the ending, and it has one of my favorite tropes, as you can see from the cover. Wink wink, hint hint. If you know, you know. It does get a little bit creepy. If you're triggered by mice and rats like I am, there's a lot of that in there. I just feel like the pacing was perfect. Everything was revealed so well. The ending was just phenomenal. I loved it. And her writing, if you like Simone St. James, you would like this author as well. The dual timelines and everything, and just like the spooky atmosphere. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. The worst book, oh, I own that one too. It's always kind of awkward when my worst book of the month is my book club pick. If you didn't know, I run a book club called the Full Moon Book Club. I'm actually in the middle of the readathon right now. There are a couple more days left as of the time I'm filming this. We have our live shows on the full moon of every month. I have a guest host. It's basically everything goes in terms of like genre and release date and shit like that, depending on my guest, depending on my mood. There's a Google form link down below. It's not mandatory, but it'll give me an idea of who participates at any given point, and I'd really appreciate it if you fill it out and tell me some things about yourself. But yeah, my worst book of the month was Gothicana. Like I said in my vlog, I'll link that down below. Oh, I read this for Summerween, so I'll link my Summerween vlog down below and check that out if you haven't already, because I love that vlog. I actually love the vlog for this one too, because it was a little road trip with Joey to a small, cute, vintagey town. Also, I love the way I tabbed it with like the pink and gray. It's just super cute. The cover is really cool too. Perfect for the Full Moon Book Club with the moon phases and everything. And that's where the beauty stops. I gave this 2 stars. I don't know why I didn't give it a 1. Oh, okay, I gave it 2 stars because the main character, Corvina, had some relatable, quirky moments, okay? Also didn't give it 1 star because I had a fun time reading it and discussing it with Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction, who was my guest for the book club last month, and it was so cringy. I do not recommend this book whatsoever. The freaking sequel comes out soon, I think. It was supposed to be a dark academia romance and like, hello buzzwords, right? Like Ashley said on the live show, the dark academia was very surface level. And I agree, but I still feel like the writing made it happen for me and like I felt the setting. So I was fine with that, but the writing in general was so angsty, but not in a good way. Not classic Twilight type of angsty. This was just cringy and annoying to read. The romance was awful. Steamy scenes were awful. Their pet names for each other and like the redundancy. It was the redundancy for me. Like there was so much about their color of their eyes and the way his sleeves were pushed up to his forearms, how he wears all black and like, you are my mountain. Like what the fuck? Moving on. Books left on my July TBR, 7 out of 16. I read 9 books out of my list of 16. So not too bad, but could be better. I did not read a classic. We're not surprised. I did not participate in the Buzzwordathon this month. I tried to read The Woman in the Library for Summerween, but I never like got around to finishing it. The buzzword for Kayla's Buzzwordathon was like a bookish word. Yeah, I did not read a book over 500 plus pages. And the nonfiction that I read this month. So I don't know, do y'all consider poetry nonfiction? Because I feel like some poetry, yeah, I do, and then some that are like not really based on personal experience is not nonfiction. Anyway, somebody give this heart a pen. I don't remember the author's name, but I feel like that is nonfiction because it talks about being a black woman and all the like societal, all the things she had to deal with when she was younger. So that is my nonfiction. I was planning on reading We Were Dreamers, but didn't get to that. I'm reading it now though, currently as I'm filming this. I'm listening to it and it's great. It's a great audiobook. All right, let's do this wrap up. All right, the first 3. Oh God, okay. I already know which one I'm gonna burn. So we have Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree, Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and A Worthy Opponent by Katie Robert. If you missed my vlog reading Carrie Soto is Back, I got an arc from my friend Isabella. I also love the way I tabbed this with the colors matching. This I would burn. Again, if you didn't see that vlog, I'll have it linked down below. I'm proud of that vlog too. But yeah, I read it so you don't have to. Because I gave this one 2 stars. I just can't give a Taylor Jenkins Reid book 1 star. There were some quotes where I was like, yep, this is Taylor Jenkins Reid. I did feel something sometimes at some points, but this was just all tennis all the time. Like I said in my vlog, it was like tennis 101. I've heard from people who have played tennis. Like I posted like an example of one of the pages where it's just like, I hit the ball, she hit it back, I hit it into the net. Oh no, I'm losing the game. But is she gonna win? Am I still gonna be great? Am I gonna be a champion? Literally like all the sentences throughout this book were like choppy and staccato like that. And like I like that writing sometimes because it's quick, right? But like in here it was just annoying. Carrie Soto, I expected her to be unlikable, but she was also just annoying. It wasn't like the good kind of unlikable that I like. She was just obsessed with winning, and I think that was like the point because it's supposed to like focus on female empowerment and determination and greatness and whatever. But I knew I would hate this one. I knew it. Needless to say, this is my least favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid book. I've read all of her books and I did do a ranking in that Carrie Soto vlog, so go check that out. That's where I'm gonna leave this. I would reread A Worthy Opponent. This is the 3rd book in the Wicked Villain series. I gave this book 5 stars. This follows Tink and Captain Hook, and it's a Disney smutty retelling if you didn't know. Disclaimer, Tink is a full-grown human. She is not the little fairy fucking a fucking pirate, okay? I really enjoyed this. I liked the exploration of trust issues in Tink, and I liked the way Hook handled them. I liked the way they interacted with each other because it was kind of like sassy, hate to love situation. The sex scenes were really well done in this. I think they were very intensely written, and I liked that, but it wasn't like the way the second book was. I feel like this has evolved from the sex scenes in the second book. So I really enjoyed this one. I'm excited to read the next one this month. I also gave this book 5 stars, but I think I'm gonna rewrite it. It hurts me to say that, but like the only thing I could think of that I would rewrite about this. So the main like baker in this coffee shop that's being set up in this fantasy world is a rat, and that's my answer. I'm gonna rewrite that character to not be a rat, because otherwise he was a great character. His personality was so adorable and he made great cinnamon rolls and literally like put this business on his back. So this is about an orc and a succubus who the orc opens a coffee shop and hires a succubus. Everyone in this fantasy world tries coffee for the first time, tries all these like pastries for the first time, and it's just such a wholesome, adorable book. and I'm so glad I have a physical copy. Thank you, Issa from Ray or Shine. I'm really glad I read this. I absolutely loved it, and this cover is so adorable. The way the characters interacted, like everything was just so wholesome. Everything was wholesome. I was squealing through a lot of it. Like, you cannot read this and not have a big smile on your face by the end of the book. Like, it's just everything. The hype is real, y'all, and it lives up to it. Damn, it's getting dark, y'all. I need to hurry the fuck up. So we have The Lies I Tell by Julie Clark. We have The Atlas Six by Olivia Blake. Olivia? I never know how to say her first name. And then The Children on the Hill. I will reread The Children on the Hill. Absolutely loved it. I'm sure there are some parts that I missed or forgot and would love to reread. It wouldn't be soon because I remember a lot about it, obviously, and I also made Joey read it and he loved it too. I already talked your ear off about this one, but I would reread that one. I would also reread The Atlas Six, but I guess I would rewrite it somehow. The thing with this, it took me forever to read because it's so dense and so like drawn out. So I think if I made it like a little bit shorter and quicker and like to the point kind of, but also keeping like the atmosphere and the characters' personalities and everything, that would help. The font is minuscule, but like the illustrations are fucking gorgeous. I loved all the characters, even though they were all pretty much unlikable. I honestly don't remember too much about this. I just know I loved my time reading it because as soon as you open the page and start reading, it feels like you're in dark academia. Like, you are dark academia when you're reading this book. So it's about these 6 chosen ones basically, and they have all these different powers like mind manipulation, and it's like a very complex in terms of powers and magic and this world in general. And honestly, yeah, I don't even remember the ending. And there are like murders and stuff involved, and basically everyone's out to get everybody and people are trying to like form allies and stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be reading the second book because that comes out soon. Don't remember a lot of it and that's just hitting me right now. I would burn The Lies I Tell by Julie Clark. I actually really like this book. So I gave The Atlas Six 4 stars. I gave The Lies I Tell 4 stars as well. So I really enjoyed it. Julie Clark wrote The Last Flight, which was the thriller that got me into thrillers. So I was super excited for this. It's about con women too. I love con artists. And this one also had a feminist kind of twist to it. It was a fun read, but out of these 3 in particular, this is the one I would just not pick up again. Especially because it's a thriller. It's like, once you know, you know. The twists were fun. I like the characters. I like how the writer talked about how this con woman navigates life and all her different identities and things like that. So it was a super fun time, but I would burn it just because it was in this bunch. Okay, so we have Gothicana, Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte McConaughey, and then Wild Embers by Nikita Gill, which is a poetry collection that I read. I would burn Gothicana. Y'all know why. So we're gonna move on. I would reread Once There Were Wolves. I really enjoyed this one. I gave this one 4 stars. There was this really graphic birthing scene and I was just not into that part at all. But otherwise, I really enjoyed this. I went to a book discussion at the old library I used to work at, and it made me like it even more because we like isolated things about it. So this is about this woman who goes to Scotland with like her coworkers, and she basically rescues wolves and tries to like insert them back into this town in Scotland's ecosystem. So there's like all this madness happening because it's like interrupting the farmers in that town, and the people there are kind of scared of these wolves. So yeah, and then there's like an unexpected like murder mystery involved in this too. And then there are all these fucked up things going on in like in relationships and families, and it was just jam-packed with stuff in less than 300 pages. This book was incredible. Loved the writing. It was very atmospheric. And then I would rewrite Wild Embers because some of the poems were just either too on the nose or just like it just didn't resonate with me. But Nikita Gill's poems are some of my favorites. She really tells a story with them, and a lot of them do hit home for me. So yeah, that one was just, I don't remember what the other one I read by her. Oh, Fierce Fairy Tales. That one was really good. And I still have to read Great Goddesses. I still gave this poetry collection 4 stars. Definitely not as bad as Gothicana, so there is that. So we have Vladimir by Julia May Jonas, Brother by Anya Alborn, and The Haunting of Ashburn House by Darcy Coates. I would burn Brother. I gave this one 2 stars. This book is so overhyped with the cannibalism and fucked up shit, and I'm like, where? I read this for Summerween. I'll have that link down below. I talk about it in depth as to why I did not enjoy this book. It's just very anticlimactic. I guess the twist. I just feel like if you went into this blindly, like I said in my vlog, then it would be a lot more shocking. And I have the trigger warnings and everything in that vlog as well. So if you're planning on reading this, watch that vlog first, if nothing else but for the trigger warnings. I would reread reread Vladimir because I feel like I missed a lot of it, and I feel like I dragged this way too long because I did. It took me months to actually get through this, and I feel like I forgot a lot about it, and I feel like I could have taken a lot more from it if I just read it the way I normally read books, because realistically I could have finished this in 2 days, but I dragged it out to like 2 months. Buddy read this technically with Sarah and Mo. I don't even know if Mo has finished it. Sarah finished it like the week we were actually supposed to read it. Yeah, basically a lot of people were cheating on each other. This is a dark academia romance with like a teacher-student situation, but also a lot of other stuff that I don't remember. But I know the writing I really enjoyed. It is literary fiction. I really love the way this author put words together and talked about reading and the literary world and everything and academia. So I really enjoyed this one. I gave this 3 stars. Again, that's because it took me so long, and based on that I was like, okay, then maybe I wasn't really into it. I feel like it's a high 3 for sure, and it would be higher if I did a reread. The Haunting of Ashburn House. I would rewrite, even though I really love this. I gave this 4 stars. This one was genuinely scary. I don't know how I would rewrite it. I feel like some parts did have a little bit of a lull, but not too significant. So maybe rewrite those little brief lulls, but other than that, this was actually scary. My buddy read this with Sid from Sid Bookworm, and she said she liked it better than Home Before Dark. I can't relate because I loved Home Before Dark, but if you weren't a fan of Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, then maybe try this one, because this one is very creepy, very spooky. Things are happening in this house, furniture's moving, voices are being heard. This is like actually haunted. If you're looking for that, go for it. I really like how this author writes characters. In the beginning of the book, the main character moves into this house that she inherits from her aunt that she's never really met. She's never met, period. But she needed a place to live because she was super poor. She had like 20 bucks. She had a cat to take care of, which, by the way, you will fall in love with this cat. So cute. But yeah, damn, is it golden hour? Hello? Those are my thoughts on that. I believe this is my last round. Oh, are these all library books? Oh, they are all library books. Wow, beautiful. I don't have to get up. Usually I hate inserting pictures, but now that I'm like not prepared, I don't want to get up to get books. But yeah, so I have 2 poetry collections and a graphic novel. I have Shine Your Icy Crown by Amanda Lovelace. Somebody Give This Heart a Pen. Monstrous Volume 6, The Vow. I would reread Monstrous Volume 6 because love that art style, and I'm sure I missed some points. I get confused a lot with that fantasy world, but I've read all of them now and I love them oh so dearly. I would love the bind up edition. I've been reading them through my phone on Hoopla, so I'm sure like seeing all the, oh wait, no, I read a couple of them from the library just to see the physical illustrations, and they are stunning. These are the most gorgeous graphic novels I've ever read, hands down. A lot of characters, if not all of them, are queer in the Monstrous series. Like there's like a half-wolf situation, there are like all these demons and creatures. It's just a great time, even though I'm confused half the time. I would rewrite Somebody Give This Heart a Pen, and I don't know how. I'm gonna cheat and say I'll make it longer because it was really good. I gave this one 5 stars. I really enjoyed this author's writing. It was beautiful, and a lot of them were very emotional, like just personal. So it sucks that I put that as rewrite, but nothing beats Monstrous, you know? All right, and then I would burn Shine Your Icy Crown by Amanda Lovelace because those are just one and done type of poetry books, and I honestly just grabbed that randomly from the library because I saw it and I wanted another book on my Goodreads goal. But Amanda Lovelace writes poetry based on fairy tales basically, and that one was like, I think that was Cinderella. But yeah, it's all about like princesses and like saving yourself and you don't need a man type of thing. Very feminist centric. All right, that is all. If you made it to the end of this video, let's put a crown emoji in the comments down below since that was the last book that I mentioned. Thank you so much for watching. Hope y'all had a great day. Stay safe and stay positive always, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye!